And so, again, just my initial thoughts after 119-98 victory, the energy and effort level was high from the Bucks, and that's just seeing from this Doc Rivers team from the moment this thing tipped off. And one of the problems I've seen from the Bucks throughout is sometimes when they get pressured and when teams are kind of play them hard, they kind of fall back and they don't have that dog in them. They hadn't had it since, like you said, talk about what PJ Tucker kind of brought that out of them. And tonight they were the aggressors early, and that's what I like to see. If the ref, because you can't wait to figure out how the refs are going to call it, whether they're going to call fouls, whether they're not going to call fouls, whether it's going to be a loose game, tight game, what you can't wait. And the Milwaukee Bucks start off. If you're the aggressor, you're gonna benefit from referees who let a lot of contact go. So I thought at the beginning of the game, the refs did let a lot of contact go. Giannis missed a couple of layups. I remember Jay Crowder missed a layup, but they were letting guys play. But if you're out there being the aggressors, which the Bucks were, you benefit, and that's what happened early. And Philly got down big. Again, also big shout out, big kudos to Damian Lillard. Again, Dame was. I thought his game tonight. The one word, if I were to use the word, masterful. It was masterful from Damian Lillard with 24, 9, and 7. And in the first half, like I said, I think he had 18. But Nick Nurse changed up the way he defended Damian Lillard. They picked him up much higher in the second half and really focused on him. They had Nick Batum. Maybe I'm missing something, and excuse me for not knowing how great a guy Nick Batum is. I didn't understand why he'd start off on Damian Lillard. I didn't get that. I get Max is not some great defender, but Nick Batum, that's food. That's food. Mm-hmm. And so Damian Lillard saw him as food and cooked him, sauteed him, of course, and that was good for him. And then the second half, they changed things up. Kelly Oubre had him some, and they really tried to defend him a little bit higher, use a little small ball action to try and stop the Bucks. And what did Damian Lillard do? He responded, not by trying to, hey, I got 18 points, I want to finish with 40. No. If they're gonna play me like this, I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna get to my spots. I'm gonna get the guys the ball in where they need it. And if you're gonna play me very hard, now Giannis, who was unselfish in the first half and only had 7 points, I think on 5 shots or whatever it was. Well, now Giannis is going to be the beneficiary of that, and he's going to give you 30 and 12 and 9 now. And so again, both of those guys played well off of each other. You started to see some two-man game from Dame and Giannis. Again, just a brilliant game from top to bottom, defensively and offensively. I know a lot of people complain about Jay Crowder, but I thought Jay Crowder, even Jay Crowder, I thought did a really good job just being active. And just everybody was active. Damian Lillard was active on both ends. So again, I thought everybody played a very active game, engaged on both offense and defense. This is what we want to see from the Milwaukee Bucks. 119-98 over the Philadelphia 76ers. Chris, what'd you see?
It was active, and it was active for 48 minutes. They put a full game together, and that's what I love to see. And I think one of the bigger takeaways from this victory is that is what we want the Bucks to look like in the playoffs. That looked like a team who could go deep. That looked like a team who can really cause other opposing teams fits in the playoffs. The effort was there, the energy. Like you said, they were just active. From top to bottom, it was great. I really don't have any complaints about anybody that played tonight. I would say that Dame looked very comfortable out there. I felt like he was able to get to his spots a little easier today for whatever reason, and he looked aggressive in doing so. Malik Beasley putting up 20 on 9 shots, that was really good. I think his defense could have been a little bit better on Maxey at some points, reaching, and he had some defensive lapses. But when he's giving you that high volume and efficiency and scoring, you're going to win a lot of games. Danilo Gallinari, I think he might just be getting into the fold of things, and I think he passed up some open shots that maybe he just is not ready for yet. He's just probably a little rusty. So I'm still holding out on him. Bobby Portis, like we always talk about, he's great when he lets the game come to him. I thought he stepped into a couple shots that he needed to take, and he knocked them down. He was great tonight. Energy was good from him. And then obviously Giannis gives you what he gives you. Brook was good. All around, I was very impressed with this win, and it gives me a lot of optimism that this is what this team can look like going forward.
No, absolutely, and you should be optimistic. I think we all are very optimistic about what we see from the Bucks in the last 2 games. Really, these have been big moments, and yeah, I just love the energy and the excitement. These guys, they look ready post All-Star break. Chris, you mentioned it, a team that looks like they're ready to go into the playoffs because And we knew even under Adrian Griffin, right? That even under Dr. Griffin, we knew the defense was going to have to pick up. Like at some point, the defense, you can't play like that against great basketball teams. And I think the hope was, okay, at some point throughout the year, they'll find that. With Doc Rivers, I mean, again, I think 3 times, and I think they said they have held teams under opponents. Like I said, Doc's having long experience, like last 3 times or something like that already, where they had done it just once in the previous 43 games where Adrian Griffin was under control. So you can see that the effort levels picked up on defense. You can see that they are more connected. They just look better and more in tune and more in sync on the defensive end. So again, you give credit to Doc Rivers for making that happen, and credit to the players for accepting that challenge and looking like a team that's ready to play. Because, and we talked about this after their last game, big win against the Minnesota Timberwolves. You can't then come into Philly without Joel Embiid and lay an egg, and they certainly did not.